Well, hello there guys and gals. So I feel like enough time has passed now that I can discuss the story so far within Guild Wars 2, more specifically though, the Living World Season 3 as a follow-up from Heart of Thorns. I've got a few key points to discuss today, but before we get into that, here is an official spoiler warning for anyone who has not yet played the content from Heart of Thorns and the Living World Season 3. So if you don't want to miss out on the WTF moments, you should turn your sound off, minimise your window and come back after the video is finished, because let's face it, I need the views. Now that you've had plenty of warning, let's get started with the key points I want to discuss. Primordus and Jormag are confirmed as active, and Primordus has settled into the Ring of Fire island chain. The destroyers have taken on the powers and characteristics of Zhaitan and Mordremoth. The mursaat Lazarus the Dire has been resurrected. Glint's egg has hatched, and Lazarus pledges his allegiance to you. Wow, that is a lot to cover. So during chapter 2 we get a letter from Bram stating Jormag is active. Bram. Which is fabulous, but quite frankly Bram, we really don't care, because apparently Primordus has been on the move from his bedroom and has made his way across Tyria to the Fire Island chain, and this has caused some minor seismic activity, which is obviously a call for us, the players, to follow Primordus to the Ring of Fire Island chain and get all up in his personal space. Because that's what we do. So we arrive on Ember Bay to find it's inhabited by circus freaks, script pirates, jade armors, and an army of Karkar. Not to mention the quarter of a dwarf, and of course no map would be complete without the inclusion of the obsessively overused and worn out worms. Seriously ArenaNet, can we just not? Just once? But obviously the most notable of all the inhabitants of the island are the destroyers, which have taken a rather strange turn. Yes! It appears that these destroyers have been imbued with the powers of Zhaitan and Mordremoth, as we discover from Tyria, albeit a theory. It turns out that when one dragon dies, the rest of the dragons gain that dragon's power. So now Primordus, Jormag, and the Ocean Dragon have the power of Zhaitan and Mordremoth, which will lead us to fight stronger and stronger dragons. As we know from the previous chapter of the Living Story, Lazarus has been resurrected. For those of you who haven't completed the raids or seen any footage or photos, then much like me, you've been living under a rock. But it turns out that the White Mantle found the remains of Lazarus and have been prodding and poking him with bloodstone stuff for quite some time. So Lazarus was resurrected thanks to the White Mantle, who were messing around with the bloodstones. Since Lazarus died near the bloodstone, his soul was trapped inside, and since the White Mantle had destabilized said bloodstone, Lazarus and all the other souls were released. As a consequence of the destabilization of said bloodstone, it was ready to go bang. Well, as luck would have it, Lazarus was in the area and in dire need of an energy boost. No pun intended. So he took advantage of this situation and absorbed the blast from the bloodstone, thus powering him up to some unknown degree of godliness. So now we're left with a little feud going on between Caudecus and Lazarus over who rules the White Mantle. My money is going on this guy.
No White Mantle, for I am their god.
What? It can't be.
We'll do a quick jump back to the present day and we receive a call from Glint's egg. Something's happening. Well then, let's just forget about Primordus. I mean, he wasn't actually doing anything to bother us anyway. In fact, it was us who were getting all up in his hair. So yeah, GTFO guys, GTFO. Naturally, of course, there is a volcano in Ember Bay that we work to shut down with the help of the dwarf head after we locate his thumb. But let's face it, it wasn't Primordus who set it to erupt, since the machines that keep the volcano dormant were placed on the island ages ago. Yes, before Primordus was even on the island. It's simply one of those natural disasters, and it's just a case of us being in the right place at the right time. We arrive back in Tyria just as the egg hatches to reveal the most incredibly adorable dragon you ever did see. Admit it, you want to give him a cuddle. But then, uh-oh! The shield protecting the dragon shuts down and the destroyers attack. Is this an act of revenge, or do they have something against the baby dragon? Well, things start heating up, pardon the pun, as there are just too many goddamn destroyers than we can handle. Looks like we could use a hero! What the fuck? Lazarus to the rescue! I know, right? With his help, we fight off the destroyers and the baby dragon is saved, and we name it, or rather it names itself through us, Aurene. And in the same sentence we find out that it's a girl. More eggs incoming? Lazarus goes on to claim he's a good guy. Marjorie leaves with him something about wine and a fancy restaurant, and we have to tell Casimir that her lesbian lover has run off with a gold man. Nah, but seriously. Marjorie becomes Lazarus's personal stalker to see if he is as good as he's pretending to be. And that is where the story ends, so what's to come? Well, I will be putting up a predictions video soon to let you know what I think is going to happen next. And no, I won't go with the obvious, I predict the next update will be the Halloween patch, because that would just be silly. So be sure to subscribe to my channel to get notifications on when I upload new videos, and if you like this video, why not show your joy by hitting the like button. If you have any other questions about The Living World Season 3 or Heart of Thorns, drop me a comment below and I'll be sure to answer as best I can. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.
But feel like I'll be explaining this to